Hello and welcome to Colouring with Colourful Crafts. Now, it seems that I have managed to actually get some more pages completed this week than I originally had intended, so I'm going to give you a quick flip through of those, and then another one. Let me just get this other book, and then flip page in City Among the Stars I have done as well, which I forgot to, I believe, to show last time, so I'm going to show it in this video instead, if that makes sense. So the one that I've completed in this book I used with the colour, with this colour cube over here that I've got at the side, and I did this one of the girl with the swan and the kite. I used that for the colour combination. This little one here, it's got blue, it's got browns, purples, pinks, orange, or more of a corally and a yellowy, I don't know, I call that yellowy green, so I just kind of called it green, and I just went with that. And if you see where it gets darker, it does turn a bit more of a darker green, so that's what I chose to do this one with. I used mostly watercolour, and for the little swan up there in the not swan, sorry, swallow in the sky, I used, I believe, one of my little stencils to kind of place it over and get it up there, and that was it really for that one. But it turned out really nice, especially using the watercolours for the leaves and just kind of letting all of the blues and the pinks and purples kind of merge into the colours that were kind of on the chart, but then also on the palette that I had at the side as well. It turned out really nice. I'm really pleased with that one. So yeah, that was that. That's all I've done in there so far, apart from the shop and the moths, I think that is. So there was that one. And then moving on, I have been working in Tales from the Witches Cottage with some more pages to show you. So I believe we'll get started. I haven't done the front page yet. That is going to happen, but I just haven't managed to get around to it. Oops, there we go. Now this is the first one to show you. I did make a mistake actually on this, because I chose, rather than to focus on the flame, on each flame, well, what I wanted to do was do light emanating from them, but rather than focusing on on one flame, oh, I've just reading my notes here. Yeah, rather than focusing on just one flame, I should have focused on more of all of them as like a collective, and I think the light that kind of emanates off it would have been better. So I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest, with that one. I'm not as pleased with it as I wanted it to turn out, as I wanted it to be. I would have preferred it to be better, but I don't know if that's picking up because I can't see what the camera sees at the moment, but hopefully it picks up some of the little sparkle I added to the what do you call that, potion maker thing. I don't know. Anyway, there was that one, and then the next one I did is this one of the bug. For the background here, for the background of the bug section, whatever this is, I did use a stencil, which I have actually going to show you now. I used the Tim Holtz, as you can see it's a bit used and inky, but I used this Tim Holtz stencil and placed it over where the bug was, like that, and then kind of dabbed on ink around it so it gave it that lacy effect. I think this is called, I don't know what that one's called actually, but if you collect these, I think you get it in a packet and it says the name on. I've forgotten what they call this, but it's a bit like lace, and I thought it would work well for the beetle. That's what I did there, and then I meant to actually go over it with my my spray that I have. This one, my Winsor & Newton Professional Fixative Spray, which you just spray on, leave to dry for a few hours, and it protects your work from like smudging onto the other page or, you know, anything like that really, which is a good thing. I would recommend to use. What else can I say about it? Mostly watercolour, a few pencils here and there, and then for the stems, or the little green stems around the edge, I used a, let me just see if I can't get it for you. I use this, the Signo Uniball green Mitsubishi pencil. Not pencil, sorry, pen. On the edges to give it like a bit of a, you know how beetles have the sheen on, so kind of made it a bit sheeny, metallic-y. Yeah, but that's it, that's what I did there. Then the next page I have is this one of a lovely lady. I don't know whether she's an astronaut. It got me thinking about Katy Perry and the whole astronaut saga thing that came out of that one. I'm not, if you know me, I'm not really a celebrity kind of person, but I did hear about that, and people were like, oh, is she an astronaut now? It's like, oh, she said she was an astronaut. I can't remember which, but I thought, what an absolute load of rubbish. You have to have a 3-year, I believe you have to have a 3-year degree in, I think it's STEM. I think that's what it's called. I don't know, to be classed as an astronaut. It's not just about going up into space. But, you know, these celebrities nowadays can say anything and anything goes, isn't it? God, the generations, eh? Anyway, so that's what I did here. And then I also went over, I don't know if that's picking up, but it's kind of got a shine to it. So what I did was I used the like, let me show you. I forget every time what it's called. The glossy accents, that's what it's called. And I put that over the top to give it a mirrored effect. I don't know if it properly achieved that, but I've tried my best. And then I just went around the very edges of it, sorry, before I put that on, with some pencil, just to kind of, you know, finish the edging around her. And I gave her an ombre effect hair and a tiny bit of sparkle on her star and her headband. I used these colours mostly. Obviously, I have used a bit of yellow and gold into it as well to kind of work it in, but mostly I tried to stick to these colours here and the, excuse me, and the different shades with that one, which was really fun. Really enjoyed that. Again, I might use the fixative over the top of it to just seal it all in, but I mean, with the glossy accents anyway, it should do most of that for me. And then I believe I did this one, which is of the which I don't know if the clouds here that I've done in like sections were a bit overkill or not, so do let me know what you think about that. I'm kind of thinking I might have done that a bit too much, and I don't really necessarily I didn't really necessarily have needed all of those, but that's just personal preference. I base her boot off a pair of Doc Martens I actually own, which are green, and I just thought, oh, I fancy putting those in there. Maybe I fancy myself as a bit of a witch, I don't know. But anyway, that's what I've done with that one. The pumpkins took forever to colour. I don't know why, but it just felt like I was colouring in them for like the longest time. Oh, it took a while to that one. But anyway, yeah, I'm really pleased with how the kitten's wings have turned out. And yeah, overall it was quite good. Not as good as I wanted it, but... And then this is the last one, which is a double page spread of these hanging baskets for the flowers. I really wanted a flower that had like a really witchy vibe to it, so I've tried to go in with that with the colour choices I've picked. These reminded me very much of Morning Glory flowers, which I have a bit of a funny tale to tell you there, if you are into all that kind of thing, if you know what I mean. Me and my sister actually went and had a bit of an experience with Morning Glory seeds, because if you didn't know, and I'm not advocating that anyone does drugs in this channel, just to say, but I decided it would be a great idea for me and my sister to go and take some, because they're known for their very hallucinogenic effects. However, I can say that that experience was not the best I've ever done. Things ended up going awry. I thought we were dying. Time seemed to warp into a kind of existence that I've never kind of imagined before. It sounds weird, but it was so weird, because I didn't think it was working, and then I took more, and not even as many as was recommended. As I say, I'm not recommending anyone does this. Don't attempt this at home. But that's just what I did, and I know from personal experience now, I probably would not repeat that. But suffice to say, yes, it ended up in a hospital trip, and my sister puking up into the sink, and the whole world just got totally disorientated and just awful. But there we go. So that's what my little tale about that for you. So anyway, that's what, so I've kind of wanted a witchy vibe with the whole flowers and the kind of a bit of a Morning Glory-ish kind of theme to it. So yeah, that's what happened with that one. Oh, and I also put some silver pen just on the detail of the hanging stars. I don't know if the stars or hanging star detail. And yeah, that's the end of that one. As you can see, I've still got plenty more to go at, so I will be continuing that, and hopefully be back sometime, I believe, in the next few weeks to show you more. Yep, hope you enjoyed that, and stay tuned.